Welcome to the channel. The channel is for education and culture based on scientific and historical evidence. So in the recent video, I shared that in past 130 years, there are major technical flaws in Wing Chun, and that lead to many Wing Chuners messaging me again as usual. Some don't like what I say. Some asking me to elaborate more in details so they can understand what is going on. So today I like to share with you. Yes, technically in past 130 years, Wing Chun evolutions have run into major basic technical flaw. And if this flaw is not solved or fixed, you don't have a solid art called Wing Chun to the basic, fundamental. We don't even talk about the advanced art. We're just saying that the basic fundamental. Now, before I share with you this technical thing, so that those friends who really interested to reinstall the core and to fix the problem and move on, I'd like to share with you my agenda on reveal this to the public now in year 2022 in America. My agenda is to provide solutions so that everybody do not have to suffer. That's simple. I do not want to provoke violence or who is number one, who is the oldest, those type of stuff. And that's why I'm whining here before I share with you what is going on. As we know from the Spider-Man movie, great power comes with great responsibility. So I don't want anything I share here end up to be used to hurt other people. But I want whatever I share here, people know that this is belongs to the ancestors of Wing Chun and use it properly every day to help one to live better and help others. No more those I'm number one, like in the movie, the Hong Kong martial art movie, like the Bruce Lee's Fist of Fury type of style. Not those Yip Man movie, I want to fight 10 karate kind of stuff. Those are not realistic at all. And in fact, it leads young people to a wrong directions. Now, in past few weeks, we all see the war between Ukraine and Russia. You see, disregard of what? War make the people suffer. Disregard of from whole side, they all suffer. So one can solve suffering only via wisdom, technology, and finding solutions, not fighting. Now, most of you guys don't know me, and those even who is very close to me don't know me. Let me share with you. When I was about 5 years old, I was in Southeast Asia. With my own eyes, I saw in an anti-Chinese riot a Chinese who work as a labor, hard labor, who have some kinds of retarded. The mind is kind of retarded, but it's good people get beat to death. I saw it. Later, I read about the Opium War, how the British sell the opium to China. Well, of course, in my mind, in my heart, there are plenty of hatred there. But then, when I get older and older, I found out that, hey, the British is not all bad. Even at that time, in the royal family, they smoke opium. So we must not get into those biased extremist stuff and provoke this hatred, vengeance. And you can also study into why is there is a riot against the Chinese. Well, because there are many people suffer. So be it the people who against the Chinese or the Chinese, they both suffer. And it doesn't solve the problem. Same with today's war. So maybe because I'm older, or maybe because I'm a Buddhist for many decades now, that's what I see. Disregard of whom it is suffering. The idea is to solve the suffering. The idea is not to, when I have more power, I'm going to bully you. And if you have more power and you do something to me, I'm going to hate you. I want revenge. It's like some kinds of, in the Wing Chun movie, is teaching people like, Wing Chun's mentality has to be like revenging because of the Mui don't like the Qing burn the Shaolin temple. Well, if you really read the history, the Qing never burned the Shaolin temple. It is the Chinese warlord burned the Shaolin temple in 1928. So what is the truth? It's always easy to blame other people. So I'm whining here is because let's end those vengeance, extreme stereotype of stuff because everybody suffer. And what we need to do for Wing Chun is to solve the problem so everybody can live a good life, can be healthy, can be strong. If you study the traditional Chinese martial art in Canton, if you read the history, the teaching, you read the teaching of Choi Lei Fat, Hong Seng Choi Lei Fat, Bak Mei, or Long Ying. Everything is about manage ourselves, not about bullying others. Not about showing off, but manage ourselves. Well, that is the teaching of Shaolin. So, I hope that this is clear. So there is no such thing as my lineage, your lineage, I am the oldest grandmaster, I know it all. No. It is about everybody is suffer, we need to solve that problem. So let's get into technical. With what I already shared with you, is really clear now what is my intention. If whatever I share will cause violence, I rather bring whatever I have into my coffin than put it in this world. Because it is not worth it to put it in the world to screw people. Now, in past 130 years in Wing Chun, the basic biggest technological or technical flaw is those sections, those core sections, and the breathing is not addressed up to today, since 1890. Because we have the writing, we know, we have the photo, we have the videos today, we can check into that, we can track into that technically. And you can see that people take opium. Wing Chuners in the past few generations take opium. So how are they going to know what I'm going to share with you? Now, this part is very important, as the other day I shared that between your lower part of the body and upper part of the body, your spine here in this part, you rely on the muscle here and the intra-abdominal pressure inside out and muscle outside in to hold this part. If not, you will not be able to operate your body. And you need, of course, the breathing, because it have to deal with your, you have to have enough oxygens for you to perform. Now, so we talk in today's term. One is the deep breathing with 360-degree type of breathing, 360 expanding and contracting, deep breathing, and then the core stability, which is related to that breathing and bracing this muscle here, or both handling the muscle, the abdominal, the oblique muscle, and the intra-abdominal pressure. Now, in terms of health, if you want to practice Qi Gong, Nei Gong, whatever you call it, Zhan Zhuang, whatever you call it, that is a very important part. One must be able to naturally breathe with lower abs, with a big abdominal breathing, where your pelvic floor, and your diaphragm synchronize, and it go 360-degree, those type of breathing. And one need to have a stable core here. Why? Of course, number one, you need that oxygen, that deep, big volume of oxygens to help the body to become more healthier, to maintain the body, or to strengthen the body. So in terms of health, that is what it is for the deep breathing. And the second thing is the ancient Chinese using this deep breathing, 360-degree deep breathing, to do another thing, which is massage their internal organs to promote circulation inside there. Okay. Now, so you have the oxygen, you have the massage, and you need to have a stable core, or else you cannot handle, pinpoint, really handle the area you want to massage. So I can share with you. We know six healing breaths exist 1,500 years ago in the Buddhist scripture. So let's talk about six breathing breath. The practice of six breathing breath, you can actually help massaging the heart, the internal organ, the heart, the kidneys, the stomach, so forth, the liver. Now, the first thing of the six healing breath is that you need to have really deep 360-degree breathing so that you have enough oxygen to help your body. The second thing is you need to have this core handling, core stability. Why? Say the breath type, the breath type of massaging, relaxing, loosing, helping the heart, okay, the heart, which is if I practice that, I'll do this. Meaning, I exhale with the pelvic floor and the diaphragm moving up when I'm exhale, and then you use the mouth type handling to influence this heart part. And then after you finish that, you loosen up the body. At that time, you inhale big time on your diaphragm going downward, your pelvic floor going downward. Okay? So heart is here, right? Now say I want to do a kidney. The kidney practice. Well, kidney is here, behind. So the way how to do kidney is this. Okay? Now, so the first thing is disregard of heart or kidney. I need that big volume of oxygen when I'm inhaling, relaxing, losing, and inhaling. When I'm exhaling, exhale out. I need a very stable, my core. Otherwise, I will not be able to manage my heart, which is at this part, or my kidney, which is back here. Okay? So, if I do not have 360 degree of breathing, deep breathing, and core stability, I will not be able to handle whatever that internal, that inside there. And anybody who really practice the six healing breath, when they do this, they can feel this part relax up, loosening up, activate. When they do this, they can feel that on the back, on the kidney side. That is Nei Gong, internal art. That is Qi Gong. That is the reality. So, when you stand in the Wing Chun stand, just the beginning stance, it has to consist of that deep breathing, 360-degree breathing, and stable core, or else it do not have a base to develop anything internal or the in the promoting of the health or strengthen the body or recovery. So this is how clear we know today. Using science, we can express this so everybody know. If you practice say six healing breath, you need to be able to do that, achieve that. Until you can do that, actually you have never developed the skill. You don't have the kung fu. Same thing if your Wing Chun stance. If you cannot have the deep breathing, 360-degree stable core, you have not yet even developed the very basic. So if you don't have a stable core, your core is wiggling back and forth. Like if you go like you want to do, say, using the six healing breath. If I pushing myself like that, how the world I'm going to activate this part? If I'm thinking only for my spine, how am I going to handle all this thing? If I don't have a 360-degree breathing and the deep low abs breathing, I will not be able to get the oxygen and get the core stability, disregard of how I want to say I'm using mind power or whatever power. So the ancient Chinese is very, in today's term, quote unquote, scientific, meaning they know the cause, the effect, how to handle that thing. So this is the help part for the basic. For the fighting part, Wing Chun is a martial arts. We like it or not, it has to fight. Well, the number one important point is your Shen Li, your torso strength or your core strength. And that again is your this engage with your core. The bracing, you be able to brace like the weightlifter, either at your exhale or at your inhale. You know it. So when you charge in, the entire thing is braced. This entire thing is braced. The body, the upper body, lower body, they are one piece. This is their torso, stability, and strength. Wing Chun is a short strike art led by Soda. Okay? As in Shaolin Classic. Read my book, Resurrecting Wing Chun. So you have this torso core stability with your breathing. You shoot in. It is never about just your glute muscle or this muscle, that muscle. No, it is this entire thing. And one must develop the bracing, the get engaging with your core, and either you are inhale or exhale, you be able to do that. Because when you strike, like say, for example, you inhale, you strike, you brace and you strike, you can feel that your body is one piece go. And then you exhale, but not the entire thing exhale. Exhale partial. Still you have that thing there, that bracing for the next strike. So the entire thing you need to be able to handle that. Or else you will not be able to do continuous running through in. This is a very basic. Okay? So again, in fighting, you need to have your oxygen because you need to use that for your activity, high intensity activity. You need to have this bracing in the same time so you can strike with your entire body go. That is how you knock out. That is how you take hit. Because who is going to guarantee you're not going to take strike anyway? Nobody will guarantee you will not be able to you will not take strike. So you can take strike because you have a bracing there. And of course, when you are bracing there, which is your intra-abdominal pressure, and your muscle is in play. This is the basic, very basic of a fighting. In the ancient Chinese, it's called the Shen Gong, the body Kung Fu. So, without the Shen Gong, this hand technique is useless. Say, for example, if I'm going to strike this high, okay, strike to face. If I don't have the core of this thing, this body is going to break into two, and then because you do not have this handling, you're going to stop breathing, tense the hell out of it for everything, just to want to make sure you can tense enough, hold enough to generate that strike. But yet that strike is not powerful at all because it doesn't have the entire body's the core strike. Look at the strike between Xi Xiaodong and Ding Hao. Ding Hao is using those strikes which have no core. What Xi Xiaodong get in, if you pay attention to that fight, Xi Xiaodong take a few of the shot of Ding Hao and then make it ready, then just go with the core. Xi Xiaodong get in, and that's over with Ding Hao because he lost his entire handling. So you see, in fighting, your breathing, you need that energy, and also you need the bracing, continuous brace. So that's why in the Shaolin Classic, it say that when you are striking, you never want to have your breathing in the chest. Why? Because you need to brace all the time, deep breathing and bracing. Otherwise, you cannot do the job. Now, of course, those who was born very strong, they can naturally have some type of bracing, so they can playing aggressive and beating other people. But people like me, I'm very weak kids. I have to find this thing out. And we look around in this world. How many of us are weak? You want to talk about Wing Chun is a female art? If you don't handle this core, how are you going to teach a lady to fight? But today's E.G. Ma, the body is breaking apart, the core unknown, the breathing is on the chest. It violates everything the Shaolin Sword Strike prescribed, the General Qi Ji Guang prescribed, the 1850s Wing Chun Xiu Lim Tao prescribed. So, to the very basic, there's a flaw there already. Past 130 years is not solved. One can copy, say, Southern praying mantis techniques. One can copy Long Ying techniques. One can copy Tai Chi. One can copy all kind of stuff. But if this 360-degree deep breathing, core stability, core strength is not solved, you don't have a martial arts. Your martial art only be able to fight those who is weak, who never train. So this is the two things. Today, very direct, I tell you what it is. So your Xiu Lim Tao, your E.G. Ma need to fix up. Or else you don't have the capability for both the health of the ancient Chinese and you don't have the fighting art part, the fundamental thing from the ancient Chinese, from the ancient Wing Chun. It is something else already. So now today we can speak with science, in terms of science, very clearly knowing this. We can measure, like the other day I shared with you, with the heart rate, with the measure with the core 360. Everybody who train that need to go measure it, monitor it, or else how the world we know we have that kung fu. And even we have that kung fu, be it the six healing breath, be able to handle those, be it be able to shoot in, and it's still no guarantee that we are good in martial arts. But this is the prerequisites. If you want to talk about Chinese kung fu, this is the prerequisites. So this is what I'd like to share with you. This is a technical talk. So that's why I go direct. You don't have it, put it back. You cannot afford all day long doing this. She's out looking at that. 10 techniques this way, that way. You cannot afford to do that. Because your competitor, your rival, is not going to do that. Your rival is going to charge in. Look at the fight between Xi Xiaodong and Ding Hao. Learn something from that. You see, there's a problem there. Since 2018, March 2019, 2000, 2001, 2002, 4 years already. That problem of Xi Xiaodong fighting the Ding Hao's problem, the Wing Chun problem, is there 4 years, the very basic. If that thing is not solved, you know there's nothing there. And if that thing is not solved, disregard of what type of hand techniques, you never be able to face Xi Xiaodong. Face it. Because with that core thing, it's going to go in. If the opponent is going to change, it's going to change the other side. It's not standing like this here. Breathing up there, no core strength. And the leg is leg, the hand is arm. And then you walk this way. Try to use your feet, your leg, the structure to support this. How can you support this? Where your spine need the intra-abdominal pressure and your muscle on the core to support it, to brace it, to engage it. And so at breathing and exhale, inhale, exhale can do it. When you take strike, you can do it. Your structure is not going to do that. Your mind power, your glute, your lifting anus, your straightened spine is not going to do that. Why? Because you miss the, the part of the human body which need to be developed. That's why I said it is a big technical flaw. So that's what it is. So disregard of in the past 60 years or 100 years, people can keep inventing their story. Mui create the oldest Wing Chun, this and that and that. If you get the Mui, Ji Sim, this and that, why don't you tell the world 60 years ago on this quote, which is written clearly in the Shaolin Sword Strike Classic? Just Shaolin stuff. You say your Wing Chun is an evolution, a better version of the Shaolin, and yet you're missing that thing. So this is what I like to share with you. I know what I'm saying today, technically it is really direct, but this is about solving technical problems. And as for the people, as what I say in the beginning, everybody suffer. There's no point to blame who or who is the greatest grandmaster. For past 100 years, is keeping in that this guy is the grandmaster, that guy is the grandmaster. My teacher teach me this proper, that proper, all kinds of stuff. But nobody really look into this system. It is like you put yourself on top of pedestal and you boost yourself. The best thing to boost yourself is to boost your teacher. Make your teacher godlike. Call your teacher grandmaster and automatically you become big Sifu. You practice those kind of stuff and after 130 years, with all the story, your interpretation, my interpretations, you cannot do the internal. You cannot do the exertions of momentum. What good is that? And then you get laughed at by Xi Xiaodong. Well, does Xi Xiaodong feel good laughing? Of course not. If you read about, if you watch Xi Xiaodong, you know he suffer. He is like this today is because there's a lot of politics and unfair treatment to him. That's why he end up like that. So everybody suffer, and now we want to solve problem. In Asia, it's very difficult to get people to sit down and say, "This is the problem, let's solve it." I have tried, and I give up. Because before you open your mouth, other people will walk away saying that their grandmaster is better than your grandmaster you don't know. It's good that I'm in America, so I can open this up for everybody. Because it's not about me, it's about everybody. We all suffer. We need a way out.